We're going to move into story time.
Okay.
I'm going to tell a story.
Okay.
And I think that this story is going to resonate with all or most parents of children with special needs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the story I'm about to tell?
I don't know. Maybe.
You weren't there. I didn't know if you saw it in our like episode notes or whatever, but so our middle son had he had volunteered to participate in chapel at school, and parents were invited to attend to watch. And so, I wanted to go and to watch him. I didn't have anybody available that was able to watch Mila. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to bring her all the things. I'm going to bring her some crayons, and I'm going to bring her some Cheerios and her little Elmo backpack. And I think I brought like her Bluey toys. Like I brought like all the things, like a little coloring pad thing. And I told her that we were going to go see Bubba at school. And that was a mistake I made, I think, because and my other plan was, okay, we're going to walk into the church, we're going to go up to the balcony where we'll be isolated from people, but I'll be able to watch. And then my plan was that she could kind of just run and like do her thing. Well, she saw him from the stage. She realized it was Bubba, but she was separated from him.
Oh, yeah.
And she absolutely lost her mind. So she is freaking out, running, trying to get down to the stage, which there is a way down that I had forgotten about. And so I'm running after her, sweating, grabbing her. Then she like wraps her fingers and arms and hands around. She is so strong around the rails of the balcony. And I'm like prying each finger off. Chapel has started at this point. I thought, yeah, I mean, good. We're in the balcony. The kids are singing. No one can hear us, right? She's screaming. Carried her like kicking and screaming back to the pew that I had all the things, tried to sit her down. She didn't want anything to do with it. She's still freaking out, yelling Bubba like loud over and over again. And again, like me just sweating, trying to pry, like she just keeps grabbing onto those rails. And I was like at my wit's end at this point. And I mean, it felt like a long time. It was in reality, probably 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up and there was a sweet, sweet teacher, 5th grade teacher. She walked up to me and she said, "Let me take her so that you can watch him." And of course I started crying. And, I said, "Thank you. She has special needs and everything." And she said, "I know." She said, let me take her. You can watch him." So she reluctantly went to the teacher, which I think in this instance, it's good that she has no awareness of stranger danger, because she was like, "Oh, a stranger wants to take me somewhere. Cool. Let's go." And so they stepped out. I was able to watch him. He was able to see me and wave. Even it was so brief, like I caught like the end, I think, of his little performance or whatever. But there was a moment there where I saw my son, I watched him, he knew I was there, and he saw me there. And that was really important.
Yeah.
And then I walked out when it was done, or actually I walked out when it was moving into like the actual chapel. We got past the singing part, because there's no chance she's going to sit through that. And fortunately, that teacher was not crying. Mila was crying, but the teacher was not crying. So I'll call that a success. And I just cried. And, she said, anytime he has something like this that you want to come to, email me, let me know. I'm happy to sit with her, figure something out, blah, 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 blah. And I will say they have been really, really, the school in general, just accommodating as far as like helping us if we need it with her, if there is something. But I feel like that story would resonate with a lot of parents of children with special needs, because of Mila's disability. Like she doesn't, number one, she for the most part, lacks impulse control. And so that's really hard for her to like control, especially when she gets fixated on something.
Yeah. It's hard to get her attention away from her.
Yeah. Like chicken nuggets or taking a shower. She calls it shower, and she's obsessed. I think the water is like a sensory activity in and of itself. There are some days where she takes like 2 because she loves it. She loves it and she won't stop.
She just lays in it. She has some bath toys and just
and I mean, it's there in our room. Like we're watching her. She's just literally sitting in the water playing around, and it's pointless. But for her, she loves it. But all that to say, she gets She gets hyper fixated on something.
Yep.
Chicken nuggets are like one of the big ones. And I better not let her listen to this podcast. Seriously, like I'll have to skip this part because if she hears nuggets or shower from the speakers of my car, she's going to freak out. So when she got fixated on Bubba, it was done. I probably shouldn't have even told her, that we were going to see Bubba. But I mean, I didn't know, I should have, but yeah, I didn't know. I think her vision is probably bad enough that she doesn't wear glasses, but she needs to and has an upcoming eye doctor appointment to clarify. I think her vision is probably bad enough to where she may not have been able to tell it was him from that far away.
Yeah, probably not.
So it's possible if I hadn't said anything, she may have just played around, walking up and down the stairs or whatever of the balcony. Funny enough, in case you're wondering if my idea of being in the balcony worked as far as quiet goes, no. Aiden said he heard her yelling Bubba, and obviously it was loud enough because the teacher came up there. So it wasn't like the teacher saw. The teacher was not on stage. The teacher would have been sitting somewhere in the audience and obviously heard. So I'm sure it was quite a disruption, although I genuinely was like, the music is loud enough, they can't hear anything. Oh yeah, they did. They heard all of it.
That's okay.
Yeah. So all of that to say, Aiden knew I was there before before we had that moment. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of parents of children with special needs can relate. It can be hard. Like it's hard to, like, we can't take, there's a lot of things like we can't take her to,
Well, I'll never forget that, if you remember, where we were eating with Christina and Austin.
Yeah.
And we were in Gardendale. And we were at down in Alabama at the time, and at Taziki's.
Christina and Austin's my sister and brother-in-law.
Yeah. And we were eating down there, and she was done. She was just done and wouldn't stop and wouldn't stop and wouldn't stop and wouldn't stop. So
that stresses you out in public.
It stresses me out in public. It does. And I know there's nothing really that can be done unless you grab her and we have to take her to the car and calm her down. Which is what you had to do. Yeah. And I just hate it because there was another family there that got upset. Like they were mad
they just
that
looked
she kept going
at us.
Well, they made a comment too.
Did they?
Yeah,
what did they say?
I don't remember the comment. It's been too long. But I remember they made it. Austin may be able to remind me, but they made a comment, and it was frustrating. I was angry at the time. But I get it. They're trying to sit down and enjoy their food.
No. I'll go on my soapbox after you finish.
I was just saying, like, I understand their perspective is they were trying to eat their food and have it in quiet. I get it. But it's not, again, that didn't happen. So I took her out. We went to the car, and she calmed down just a little bit. But it took a little bit. But that's just an example of, like, when we go to restaurants or even taking her to the store, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You really don't. Mila may be perfect. Like, I've taken her numerous times to the store with me.
I mean, I had to take her to therapy this weekend. She was a perfect angel.
Yeah, and she was great in the store too. Like,
which is like, doesn't happen.
Now, if she sees a balloon, then that's
you better buy it.
Essentially,
yes.
No, like, you get
absolutely.
Well, unless you get something else.
There's nothing more enticing than a balloon to her.
Well, yeah, candy is.
You think?
I did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Success.
Yeah.
Well, that could also depend on the day, though.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, for the most part, like, you just never know what you're going to get, essentially, is all I'm trying to say with that. And it's hard. It is hard to take her places. It's hard to just scoop her up and go because, I probably do. I probably care too much about what other people think. And that's my own issue. I got to work through that. But
well, two things come to mind. First, I understand there is a respect for other people. However, the world, and I talked about this in another podcast where I talked about the world expecting Mila to accommodate to them, and the world is not willing to accommodate to children like Mila. And that has to change. That has to change because I could be naive here, but I assume if someone's in a wheelchair and it's taking up a little more room than normal, most people probably are nice about it. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are some really nasty people that get mad. But for a child with a disability like Mila's that is essentially invisible, there's just a lack of, I don't know if it's awareness
Probably. I think that's part of it.
or empathy or both.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think too, though, that maybe not so much then at that age, but now at 5, you have no excuse. You can tell when she starts talking that there's a problem because she's so delayed.
Mm-hmm.
She is a 5-year-old that doesn't speak like a 5-year-old. She's like a 2-year-old on speech, right? And so that's obvious. But I think that there has to be some change, and like I said in that podcast, like it's going to take parents like us shouting from the rooftops, advocating for our children to somehow be accommodated in some way. Now, what that looks like, I don't know. Does that mean that restaurants start supplying sensory toys or something like that, kind of like they would a wheelchair ramp or grab bars in a restroom? I have no idea. You could brainstorm forever. And maybe there's restaurants that are doing this, who knows?
Maybe.
I mean, there probably are a few that are ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I think there's like airports and stuff that have like sensory rooms and stuff. So I mean, we're making some strides, but there's a long way to go. And children like Mila, and if you are a parent of a disabled child or a parent of a child with an intellectual disability or special needs or autism or whatever, you probably get it. They're just not understood.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people are not interested in understanding them.
Yeah.
I really do. I think most people don't care. And it's really, really sad.
Mm-hmm. They probably don't. I mean,
care.
Because they don't see it enough to care.
Well, I'll change their mind.
That's just my opinion.
Somehow or another.
I don't know.
Maybe it's through this podcast.